So Sovol reached out to me and asked if I wanted to test out their new Klipper machine, the SV07. I said, sure, I'm always in for an adventure. And here it is, the SV07, Klipper based. Well, let's see what this machine's all about. As I mentioned, it's running Klipper, and it actually has like a Klipper screen running a Raspberry Pi behind it. Pretty cool. One of the unique things about Klipper, it has a nice web interface, and you get a lot of information at your fingertips. And this is cool, because it has 3 fans, a really big one in the back. Knock your socks off. And it will keep you level with a 25-point inductive probe to create a nice mesh. This 3D printer will keep you nice and warm and toasty inside, because it has an all-metal hot end, reaches up to 300 C. And this has a all-metal direct drive that's adjustable for tension as well. And it got the bits. It's a 32-bit silent board. Those stepper motors will be nice and quiet. You want some clean, reliable power? It also has a 350-watt Meanwell power supply. Keep your machine fed. Normally, I don't like a sticky bed, but in this case, yes, textured PEI on both sides. And who doesn't like a good nightlight? Well, the printer sure does. It's a real nice bright LED light to keep your projects illuminated. Oh, and plus, it has a filament runout sensor. Just in case you run out, it'll let you know. Want a place to store your junk? Well, it's got a junk drawer to keep all your crap inside. And currently, the SV07, if you don't catch the early bird, is hovering around the $400 mark at the time of release of this video. So let's go ahead and see what this machine's all about. And this box is nice and pristine because it was in another box in a box. If you're looking to purchase this printer or the filament that's used in this review, affiliate links will be down below. And everything is well packaged as you would expect. Nice sturdy foam on the top. And we have a user guide right on top. And I really would want these 3D printer manufacturers to come up with a better user manual than this. It's not bad, but it's not the best either. And everything here is well packed. I did lose a screw and a T-nut in there, and the foam was right there. But again, everything is so well packed. I really do not know how they get these bases in these boxes because I always struggle to get them out. So I really feel sorry for the people that package these machines. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt it on its side here and get a little bit better leverage. And there you go. Everything's out. Here are the screws and fasteners. And if you're looking for your tools, everything is nice and stored in this junk drawer. And it's actually pretty nice. Got a real nice wrench. And you got actually a keeper there for your Allen keys. That way they're not floating around. We all know that junk drawers will be full of junk. So let's get this gantry on. It's secured by 2 screws on each side. Pretty easy. Just mount the display, 3 screws. And we're going to plug in a USB and then the power to the display. And then it just slides on, just like so. And we have this beefy hot end assembly that's a direct drive. And it takes 4 screws to mount it to the back. And just, be careful not to over torque anything. Now we have these T-nuts to fasten this big blower fan that goes under the back as well. And you want to just try to make sure you're as centered as possible. Let's go ahead and assemble this filament spool holder. Oh, it's got like a bearing in there. Okay, and we're going to snap it right on the top and screw it in with 1 screw. Since we're up here, let's plug in the filament runout sensor. And now we're going to plug in the ribbon cable that goes on top of the hot end. It is keyed, so it would only fit one way. Then secure it with a zip tie. And now we're going to attach the ribbon cable to the gantry. And it just takes 2 zip ties. Plug in the fan in the back. And now we're going to plug in the stepper motor right here. And then the Z stepper motor. And then filament runout sensor on the bottom there. And the other Z stepper motor on the other side. Make sure you flip your power if needed. And now we're going to check for wobble. And we're going to adjust the eccentric nuts to go ahead and tighten this down a little bit. Don't want it too tight though, just enough to get rid of the wobble. And then we're going to flex it around. Looks good here. And then you can check this for all the axes. The hot end actually is fine. It was more of the printer moving, but this is where the extruder nut is for that as well. And when you turn on, you're greeted with Klipper screen. Underneath the screen is a MKS Pi. So yes, that's where all the magic happens. And it looks like this is a very vanilla flavor of the OS. So it's a great addition to have. So it doesn't look stripped down by any means. And of course, one of the first things I would like to do is go ahead and join it to my home network. We're going to hit configure, and then we're going to hit network. And just scroll through and try to find your your Wi-Fi. Go ahead and put it on there, and then type in your password. This way, once on your home network, you can access the printer by almost any web browser.
That's called foreshadowing.
I found the IP by looking up the MKS Pi IP address on my router. I typed the IP in my web browser, and now I am able to get onto the web interface. I have to say, it's pretty nice to be able to get into an interface like this. As you see, I have some jobs here, and just a few prints. Yeah, let me toggle over another page here. Oh, and one more. Yeah, you're going to see all those prints at the end. Better stay tuned. But that's not all. It's definitely one of the nice things about Klipper is being able to just log in and check and monitor your printer. And it's also nice that you could do all the updates through the OS through here as well, and see some more advanced configurations. Also, there's some nice add-ins that you can do as well. Well, now that we're able to log in, let's go ahead and install our slicer. Sovol's Cura can be found on the USB stick, and I'm just going to install it and choose SV07. One of the first things I want to do is do the input shaping and use this accelerometer. It plugs in underneath, but I didn't see any hardware to fasten it. So I found this clamp. You get these at like Harbor Freight for dirt cheap. We're going to go to settings, then click on input shaping. But unfortunately, you need to home the printer first. So I'm going to do that real quick and then get back to you. Then you're going to click on auto calibrate. And I'm going to do the Y. You'll see that it starts to move pretty slowly, and then it's going to start to speed up. And it's detecting the frequencies. Once it's done, you hit continue, and it's going to save. Then we're going to do the same thing for the X. And I didn't really find a mounting point there either, so I just put it right on the tensioner lever. Now this process takes about a minute, so after we click on X, it's going to do the same thing. And then once it's done, it's going to hit continue to save it, and then it's going to kind of reboot it. Now you're done with doing the calibration for your input shaping. Now that the machine's almost fully assembled and ready to go, let's talk about today's video sponsor, PCBWay. Are you looking for a PCB manufacturer? Well, look no further. PCBWay offers standard PCBs, advanced PCBs, flexible and rigid PCBs. They offer assembly as well. Do you need SMD or stencils? They do that. Also, they do CNC and 3D printing. That's pretty cool. Even do sheet metal and injection molding. You want to work on a project? Just head on over to the shared projects area. Find a project that you may want to work on, order it, and go ahead and start learning all about electronics. It's a great way to get started. And I would like to thank PCBWay for sponsoring today's video of the Sovol SV07, running Klipper, of course. So let's go ahead and see what this printer can do and take a look at the test prints. Now, I would have to say, off the bat, I did not have a good experience here. These were my first test prints off the SD card. And this is the 27-minute benchy. As you see, it does not look good at all. Must have tried running it 6 or 7 times, as you see here. And you know what the problem was? The silicone sock. Yeah, this bugger right here will not fit on correctly and slid down and was literally just creating just nothing but havoc and just doing that. Dragging its happy self all over the test prints. Yeah, so mine doesn't fit right, so it didn't go back on. But after that, we used their white sample filament. And actually, it doesn't look too bad from the side. And did complete in about 27 minutes. Just actually shy of 28. It looks like I need to lower that Z a little bit. But you can see that it's under extruded a little bit. Let me get a little bit closer of a look. Yeah. It is not the prettiest, but I've definitely had worse test prints and taken a lot longer. Since white isn't that easy on the camera, I decided to switch to Profit 3D Mint. Now you can see all the details here. And it's not the best. I did lower down the Z a little bit for a little bit better of a squish. And you can still see the under extrusions. Actually, you can see it a lot better now. Now, I don't know if this is just the way the model is, but it's definitely repeating the same things. So I decided to do my own benchy. I opened up the slicer for Sovol, the Cura modified one, and yeah, this is what I got. This is at their 30-minute mark basically to get it complete. It is pretty awful. So I was testing out different retraction settings, different speeds, and I could really not get it to get any better than this. I'm like, man, I said, maybe it's the filament. I don't know, but it is pretty damn bad. So then I decided to try a different one. This is Profit. This is the blue, and I had a couple failures. And I actually changed the temperature up here, and it was still just as stringy, just as bad. So what is one to do? I mean, every time I've tried, it is just it seems like I'm making everything worse by messing around with the retraction settings more. This is the 100 speed, 40 minute at 2 on the retraction millimeters, and it was just even worse. So the recommended, it seems, is be 0.5 for this direct drive. But then I said, okay, it's time to change things up a little bit. Let's try a silk from Polymaker. And this looks dreadful as well. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know at this point. Oh, and look at that. You get part of the lightning bolt to come up with the bed. Perfect. Now, typically, I will not run the slicer from the manufacturer. I will make my own settings in Cura. And so what I did was now, since I have nothing to lose, I decided to copy the profile from the slicer from Sovol into a new profile under regular Cura. I even copied all the print settings over as well, which you should do, and because that's their best so-called recommended settings for it. And so we're going to run with that. And this one was set to 100 for my first test speed. Now let's call this sort of the redemption round. I did 2 sets of benchies, one at 40 minutes, which is 100 millimeters per second right here. As you can see, cleaned up a lot better. But this is the side that with that big blower, and it's kind of weird looking. Top looks really good. Very small stringing right there. The side facing you looks great, but kind of weird on the other side. And this is the 30-minute benchy at 250 millimeters per second. Again, it's not bad. It's definitely better than what I was dealing with before. And again, that side that's facing that big blower motor, it looks pretty weird, to say the least. Top looks okay. Not as good as the 30, I kind of don't expect it to look any better. And that was the Prophet Mint. So now let's go with the Prophet Blue 3D filament. A lot better, a lot cleaner, and for a benchy, it's not bad. This is the 40-minute benchy. Again, the side that faces that big blower motor. I don't know. We need a better squish as well. The top looks really good too. The arches look good. Now we're going to the 30-minute benchy. Still not that bad. But again, I don't understand what's going on with this side, this back side. It just looks pretty awful, to be honest with you. Top looks good. Some of the layer lines are over extruded. And let's go with the Silk PLA from Polymaker. It looks actually really nice. Top looks great. And then let's flip it over. Oh, hey, that's a kind of a welcoming surprise. That's the 40-minute, of course. This actually benchy looks pretty darn good. Well, it's also silk. And let's go with the 30-minute one. Still not that bad. And then the back side here. Yep, there we go. And you can see it. Kind of a little bit of a color change there. Went from shiny to dull. I didn't adjust any of the settings or anything. After printing about 26 benchies, I think, it's about time that I print something else. So this is just like a pen holder. And yeah, it looks pretty terrible. This was at 100 millimeters per second. And you can see that's definitely the backside. Something's going on with that backside. It looks pretty awful. And I figured I want to try something like this where the part cooler is blowing all the way through. The inside actually looks pretty decent. But everything else is just pretty terrible. Oh, please comment below. Tell me your thoughts of these prints. I mean, this is just, to me, awful. You got this maybe 1-inch section right there. Otherwise, the overall model is just absolutely horrible, in my opinion. Now, I have one last test benchy. Now, I hate to do this to you, but we're doing one last benchy. This was my final print. And what's different about this is I unplugged the big cooler in the back. I wanted to see how this would just do with the normal parts cooler. And so far, this is best benchy. That little spot was my fault, but not too bad. This was the 40-minute benchy. And to me, I think it's the best benchy so far. So let's go ahead and compare it to another one just to be sure. And yeah, no, that one, well, that one's the 30-minute benchy. But you can see that it's had a problem on the top. So let's grab the 40-minute one. I don't know. Looks about the same. So, guess I was wrong. All of them are pretty bad. Now, your printer comes with a bonus. It's a leave behind. You see that nice lightning bolt in the center? Well, guess what? Your parts get to have some of that little piece of happiness. Yep. Good thing you have another side. That way you could do more. Awesome. So what are my thoughts? I don't even know if I want to go through this, but I guess I have to. And the video is already way too long as is. But I just want to make sure that you're well informed. So let's go. I really like the Klipper screen. They left it alone. It's nice and vanilla, just the way it should be. And it is fast. Very fast. I was very skeptical at first that it's going to achieve the speeds that they said. And it does. It does achieve those speeds. And what else is good about it? It has one of the best cable strain reliefs in the back for the heated bed that I've come across in a very long time. It'll make a lot of people very, very happy. If leveling springs are not good for you, well, it gives you a kit to make it a rigid mount if you so choose. How nice. Unfortunately, that's where the positives end for me. I mean, it's you got V rollers now that are on all axis, which usually doesn't bother me, but you come with a line of printers now that don't have V-rollers anymore. And you're calling it SV07. Then you have cable management. It's not that great. And this big bulky fan that's on all the time after you start a print. There's no way to control it. I mean, it cools off your bed. And then, well, how about some guides to snap this in place? Hey, lucked out. Got it right on the first try. Perfect. Now, there's going to be a lot of haters out there. And so be it. They're going to tell me that you should have tried this. You should have tried that. Well, chances are I already did. It's just not in this video. Because you know what? The video is way too long as is. In conclusion, if you want a printer to waste filament, then the SV07 is definitely the right printer for you. I really appreciate you tuning in to Tripod's Garage. Please have a wonderful day, evening, or weekend, or whenever you decide to watch this video. Thanks again for tuning in. See you the next time on Tripod's Garage.